Alright, welcome back, guys. Another video here, something a little different, at least on my channel, that is, at least. Oh, sorry, before we get into all that, like, comment, subscribe to the channel, all that good stuff. Make sure you guys are hitting that sub button, notification bell. Try to get videos out as frequent as I can, but I want to give you guys quality videos and stuff that I like talking about. So coming up with new ideas sometimes can be a little bit tricky, but we're going to get them out to you guys nonetheless. And thanks for always supporting. At any rate, this video today, we're going to be talking about sweatpants, levels of sweatpants. If you go, one of the good things that I look at is the GSM. If you wonder what that is, if you go to a website and you're buying a pair of sweatpants, you go down to the very bottom where it says like materials and specifications, all that kind of good stuff. Look for that GSM number. I like to have mine between 350 and 450. That technically means that they're going to be a lot more durable, even more heavier sweatpant. I like heavier sweatpants. I don't really like, there's a place for thinner sweatpants. There's a place for very loose fitting sweatpants. There's a place for more heavier sweatpants. I'm not too concerned with what brand I'm purchasing when it comes to sweatpants. I'm more or less concerned with the quality of them. So first one is a brand called wolfstar. So wolfstar is actually a brand that I found in Public Lands. Public Lands is actually like a Cabela's kind of a store, but they do more clothing than they do actual outdoor gear, if you want to call it that. Like Cabela's does a lot of, you can buy guns and Cabela's and things like that, but Public Lands does a lot more of the fashion side of things. And wolfstar is their like marquee brand that they actually have. So big fan of these. Obviously the color of them is absolutely incredible. So ready for the spring, ready for the summer. It also has the OG bottom to them as well too, as you can see here. It has that old sweatpant bottom to it. Next up, we have these are jcrew. These are actually jcrew factory. These are a little more of an active sweatpant where you would probably go, jogging in, outing with the family, things of that nature. On the bottom of these right here, it has more of a wider bottom, so it's made for it to kind of give you a spacing between your sneaker and your sweatpant, if that makes any sense to you guys. So these have versatility to them as well too. In this particular sweatpant, in the jcrew, I would lean more towards a mid sneaker on these, and on the wolfstar I would probably go more towards low top, based off just the aesthetic of the bottom of the actual sweatpant. Next up, we have the OG in the game. If I can pull them out here. OG in the game. I have two pair. One black. These are the hundreds. Now I've had these sweatpants for quite some time now, as you can probably tell, but these are one of my go-to sweatpants. And the good thing about hundreds when it comes to their actual sweatpants is that they have kept everything original. The jcrew and the wolfstar are more of a jogger. These are more of an actual sweatpant. I'll explain what that is. Joggers kind of taper down from the thigh to the calf to the ankle. Sweatpants kind of keep the same flow throughout the whole entire pant, and you have just a suction at the bottom. So that's a real 90s thing. The sweatpants are very 90s. Joggers are very 2000-ish, if you want to call it that. Next up, we have another pair of hundreds. These are the gray ones. Once again, I had these for a little while. Hundreds is a brand that I rocked a lot in the early 2000s. Hundreds, A-Life, Crooks and Castles, 10 Deep. I mean, these guys in that 2000 era, they really dominated in regards to streetwear, and in regards to, it was a little bit cheaper than buying BBC and ice cream, but it still gave you that feel. And hundreds was a huge staple in that era, and they still are to this day. But when we're talking about staples, no pun intended, staple pigeon. Next sweatpants I have here. If you talk about OG in the sneaker community, look no further than staple pigeon. Honestly speaking, the only brand I would think of that I would say is more OG is Stussy. Stussy is a board brand, skateboard brand, or a surfing brand that came out in the 70s, and they have lasted the test of time. They're still extremely sought after, and Staple is right there with them. In the mid 90s, early 2000s, when they had the Staple SB come out, it was the first sneaker that I remember that I can think of that was on a newspaper in New York City. The line was crazy. Staple Pigeon. If you want OG, if you want quality clothing, I'm trying to tell you, this brand is the brand you need to be looking at. Staple Pigeon will change your entire life. If you're looking to get into streetwear, look no further than Staple. You can always go find their sales section. They have a ton of stuff on sale all the time. These sweatpants are $68 retail, and I think I paid retail for them. But the next pair I have, I did not get retail for. But these are their OG sweatpants. I think these are called the Traboras. Obviously, as you can tell, they have the OG rib at the bottom of them as well too. Nice and easy, very easy to wear, a great sweatpant. And just like these right here, the Staple sweatpant also has something very unique at the bottom of them too. But this is the Staple sweatpant as well. You have the small little pigeon right here as their branding. This is their camouflage sweatpant they came out with. This is more of a wintertime sweatpant. It's a little more heavier. This is a 450 on the GSM, so it's a lot thicker material, and it's made to be worn layered, so it gives you room to move around with and wear stuff up under it so you keep yourself warm. But the unique part about Staple that I love so much on all their sweatpants, they have this right here at the bottom. They have the zipper at the bottom, so that allows you to, I don't know, sometimes it's kind of cool to unzip it and let it lay over the sneaker. It's just something cool to do. Unique feature, and you would think this zipper will fall apart over time. No. This zipper is sturdy. Like sometimes, I remember when there have been a ton of pair of shoes and even pants that I've had that had zippers on them, and the zipper after a while just loses grip, and you're like, man, this is a disaster. There are levels of sweatpants like there are to anything else, and it's something that I think we should all invest in. Is some quality sweatpants. Get as many colors you like. Don't be afraid to try new things. You know what I mean? In and out, couple sweatpants, man. Hope you guys caught a vibe on it. And until next time, guys, peace.